So it seems like you either really enjoy M. Night Shyamalan's movies or you really don't, and then there's this weird middle ground that most of us are in where we believe some of his movies are good, some of them are really not, and I'm sitting in the middle with this one as well. But guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Leo Rydell, and I am here today to review Old. But before we dive into this review, hit that big red subscribe button if you like this content, and let's talk about this movie and why it's kind of in the middle for me. So what is Old about? A thriller about a family on a tropical holiday who discover that the secluded beach where they are relaxing for a few hours is somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives down to a small timeline. The movie stars Alex Wolff, Thomasin McKenzie, Gail Garcia Bernal, Eliza Scanlon, Abby Lee Kershaw, Vicky Krieps, and more. And guys, okay, I just gotta start with the good. Y'all know how it goes. If you're new to the channel, I always start with the good. So let's start with what works. Look, for me, what worked was that cinematography. M. Night's movies usually deliver in that aspect. Look, I loved these long takes, these well-composed shots, these great close-ups that really capture the emotion and the fear and the thrill that's going on with this movie. Not thrilling as in happy, yay, can't wait. Thrilling as in we're very fearful, and this is thrill in a bad way. So it's really well done in its cinematography, and he actually makes a really good use of Dutch angles. So well done and well composed with the cinematography. And I gotta say, another thing that works is the thrill of it all. This is a crazy, weird experience being on this island, and the lore is a little so-so, and I'll get to that a little bit later, but it's just cool being on this island with this family, getting attached to these characters a little bit as we see this weird phenomena unfold, and it does really leave you curious as to what's going on. So it's incredibly curiosity invoking, and the cinematography is really good, and it does set up for this thrilling, really crazy thing that's going on. I wish I had a little bit more, but look, they got a really good cast for this movie. You know, Alex Wolff, Thomasin McKenzie, Gail Garcia Bernal, like they got a really good set of cast here, but let's move on to what doesn't quite work. So unfortunately, look, I'm gonna be real here, guys. The thrill wasn't as grandiose as I wanted it to be. The lore of the island and this whole aspect of aging up and aging at a rapid rate, so rapid that within a few hours you're years older. I love that idea, and I kind of wish that it was expanded upon just a little bit more, and that there was something bigger at play making them age this way. I will say this, and I won't spoil, but it's a very simplistic thing that they use to explain the aging, and I wish that it was just a little more fleshed out and it was a little bigger, because I feel I walked into this really thinking that this would have been a bigger, much bigger thing going on to actually have this phenomena happen, but it just doesn't quite hit it for me. And unfortunately, I feel like the line delivery in this movie is really, really, really bad, because like I said, the actors are really good, but the line delivery is bad because you got these crazy expressions, and the way they express themselves and move and use their body language is really well done, but then you kind of reel back and you're taken aback a little when the lines that they deliver is so stiff and just aren't really in synergy or in sync with each other. It just doesn't really improve throughout the movie either. So that's one big miss for me. That script and that dialogue is just not good, and that speaks to the direction. Come on, M. Night, get in there and tell them to really deliver those lines, because man, let me tell you guys, it felt so stiff. Some of the interactions felt almost robotic, like, oh my gosh, my daughter is in trouble. It was very robotic in the sense that it just didn't really work, didn't really translate well on screen. And look, while I did enjoy the execution of the twist, again, I go back to the grandioseness of it all. I wish that it was bigger. I wish that there was a little bit more to it. I wish that it was a little more, I wish it was just a little more interesting and a little more intriguing and a little more thought-provoking, but it just kind of falls a little bit flat. So unfortunately, I wish I could give Old a little bit bigger because that thrill is very interesting and it is very intriguing and curiosity invoking, but unfortunately, I just feel the execution wasn't so good. So if I had to give a score to Old, I am going with a 6 out of 10. I think it's got some good in it, especially when you're at the beach with the characters in the crazy ride with them. But unfortunately, it doesn't really offer greatly delivered dialogue. It doesn't offer a grandiose or bigger thing going on outside of this phenomena. It just kind of lands on its feet and doesn't really go too far from that. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button for your boy Leo Rydell if you enjoy the content. We'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.